here's just a very rudimentary example of using some utility classes. Now, this is going to show some pros and cons, right? As you see here, I have a page that is purely just some blank, sections that we can just scroll through. Each one is 50% height, and they alternate between white and green. Okay, let's look at these. So here we go. If we go look at this top container, I have 50 VH BG : white. Two classes. One makes it 50% height. The other one makes it background white. Okay. If we look at this green container, it has the same thing. It's 50 VH : BG success. So it uses the success color from Site Styles. Now this is really cool. Look how easy that was. I just added these classes, right? But we also have to think, right? Let's say in the future, I wanted to change the height of these sections, right? I could have created a section height swatch, a swatch that had a class of, let's say, section height or, section container, and then gave that a height of 50 VH. And then at that point, I would put the same class on all of these. Now, in the future, if I ever wanted to update that, if I were to use a swatch, I'd only have to update it one time. But now, because I use these utility classes, I have to go through each one and change each one individually. Now, if I were to implement this using swatches, I could go ahead and create a height swatch. And let's say we were to give it a, section container or something like that, right? And I just set a simple height and I did 50% of the browser window. There we go. So now I have a swatch called section container. I could then go and add this class. I won't do that. I won't waste your time doing that. I could add that section container class to each one of these. Okay. Instead of using the utility class, I could have done that. Now, this is the same implementation. We achieve the same results potentially in two different ways. And which way is better? In this particular instance, I think the swatch is better, right? Because here, if I ever decided I wanted to make all my sections 60 VH or 66 VH, that's really simple. I just change my swatch and it magically updates everywhere. But because if I were to use the utility class method to do that, I'd have to go to each individual one and change the class. So while utility classes are very great, they're convenient as heck. Think about your use case. If you're using the same utility class too many times, okay, in certain situations, right? Maybe you should rethink. Maybe using a swatch could be better, right? Maybe in the future, are you going to want to change that? In the future, are you going to want to change this background instead of it being green to be something else? Maybe we should have a section alternate background or something like that, right? So that we can manage that one color centrally. Now, granted, this uses the colors from Site Style, so you could change the success color. But what if you use that success color somewhere else, right? And you didn't want that, right? So just think about that just as a plus and minus. While utility classes are great, we don't want to go full-heartedly into them too much because then we're going to get into the boat where we were before, where all of our settings are too local. So keep that in mind. I hope you enjoy utility classes. They are wonderful. And go ahead and make your websites great.